Redrick here, the mom strategist. I'm wrapping up my workout today at the gym, and I wanted to do a quick scope today to shift any of you guys out here that are trying to figure out for yourself, like, why am I not where I want to be in my life and or in my business, right? Because that's a question that I get a lot of times from people. I'm looking kind of like my hair is kind of wet because I'm cooling down from my workout today. It was a tough one. I'm Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with life and business success. Welcome, guys. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. You guys should be signing up on my list there just so we can make sure. Good morning, Kathy. So that we can make sure we stay connected. Good morning, Ebony Butler. I'm going to be breaking this down for you guys over the next couple of minutes. I'm cooling down from my great workout this morning, so I'm pumped up. And hey, Sonia, I'm going to be sharing simply today, the real reasons, like the actual reasons why you are not where you want to be in your life or in your business right now. Let me just tell you that the purpose of the scope is simply to create a shift. If you are here, please invite someone on Twitter, on Periscope, on Facebook. Let's share, let's pack it out, because I know that more people could be blessed as a result of hearing this word. I'm going to break it down for you guys. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients. Hi, Dr. Noel. With life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. What I do is I support sharp, smart, individuals who are interested in leveraging what they know. They want to take their education, their gifts, their background, their professional experience, and package that into product that they can sell from the comfort of their home, which means that with one-to-many models, they're not trading time for dollars. So, I've supported hundreds of entrepreneurs in doing exactly that. 113 of my clients are authors. More than half of them are #1 Amazon bestsellers. But more importantly, I show my clients how to monetize their content, their education, their background with skills. My experience is I had a corporate training background. I worked for Citibank for many years, loved it. And I understand how to take your content and leverage that content in many different ways. And I've been able to do exactly that myself, combining my background as a corporate trainer, my love of motherhood, into a business, hence the mom strategist. I'm a business coach, and also I create strategies specifically for moms who make excuses around why, if you're a mom and you're busy already, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or whether you are this mom that made this transition home that's looking to get back out there, or whether you're a mom that's working professionally out in the marketplace, or this mom that's already working but you're not putting it all in, I have systems for you, because so many moms make excuses about not owning their power, their ability to be able to create profitability in their own businesses, to be able to monetize their passion. You guys know I'm telling the truth. Or because they don't have systems in motherhood to manage what they got going on with their kids, right? And also honor their dreams. They think they have to pick or choose, and you don't have to do that. It's something I know a lot about. I'm going to jump on to get in this topic real quick, but it's something I know a lot about. My husband developed kidney disease almost 9 years ago. And hey, Hillary, almost 9 years ago. And at that time, my kids were very young. They were 9 years old, 6 years old, and 3 years old. And I had some decisions to make for myself about whether or not I would put my dreams on hold, because I had a life crisis, right? And my kids were young, and I could have used my life as an excuse instead of a reason, right, to keep things going. And I decided that I could do both, that building an amazing business would allow me also to be able to honor my husband, but also not to die inside. Because what is a life that, if you don't have your passions you get to live for, something that fuels you at the end of the day, sometimes you feel resentful because a lot of moms put their lives on hold. I just want to break that down for those of you who are just joining me. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. Good morning, Ruby. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. I'm going to be breaking down today, real simple, gym cool down, the real reasons why you are not where you want to be in your life and your business. And I say the real reasons because a lot of times people don't want to deal with the real reasons why you are not where you want to be, and you can be there. All right. Do me a favor, if you're on the scope and you haven't shared already on Twitter, on Periscope, on Facebook, why not? Come on, guys. That's an easy ask, right? Like, that's a basic, right? That I'm going to give it up and you guys share it up, right? I'm going to give it up and you guys always share it up by sharing on Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook. And that's that. All right. Thank you, Hillary, for sharing. I appreciate that. Thank you, Twilla, for sharing. I appreciate that. All right. All right. So you guys ready? Okay. I hope you're ready for this scope, right? Now, right, it's better. That's right, Cheryl. That's right. If you wait, you'll be waiting all your life, right? Because sometimes we start believing those reasons. We start believing things that aren't true as if they are true. The real reason why you're not in life where you want to be is because, you know, those stories that you tell yourself, we do it. We all do it. Like, now it's not the right time, or I don't have enough money, or, I'm too exhausted to do this for myself, or I'm not too smart, or I don't have enough money. All of the reasons that you've come up with. And let's think for a minute, if I'm saying this to you, think for a minute about your reasons why you keep saying you can't launch and go for your dream. The truth of the matter is, when my kids were young, I started 4 to 6 hours a week, simply 4 to 6 hours a week. And I put that block of time consistently in my business to own my dream. I created a transition plan for myself. And I knew that 100% that by the time my youngest son was in school all day, that I was going to go hard. But I didn't feel that because my kids were young, because my husband was on dialysis, that it meant that I had to wait, hold, do nothing. So the real reason that you aren't where you want to be in your life and your business is because you have that all or nothing attitude and you're believing some story that isn't true. And the fact of the matter is, you could take simply 4 to 6 hours a week, give that 100% of you, that 4 to 6 hours a week working consistently toward your dream, and you would begin to create a foundation for something amazing in your life that would add value to your family. So the real reason, the real reason that you aren't where you want to be is because you can't see that. You're in your mind, you're thinking that you need 20 hours or 30 hours or 50 hours, and you're stuck in this can't formula. Like, if I only had this, I had this amount of money, if I only had this amount of time, right? If I only had a husband that was supportive, right? If I only had, you had all of these things. If my kids were older. But the fact of the matter is, life is never going to be perfect. It isn't. And perfection is the enemy, right? Perfection is the enemy. You're welcome. Is the enemy of progress. And while you're waiting to make things perfect, what you're really doing is you're fueling something that isn't even real. It's called illusion. See, illusion is not reality. And this is just so important to understand. And a lot of times that when we don't move forward, it's because we are looking at something we've called true that isn't really true, right? Done is way better, Hillary, than perfection. Any day and all day. All right. And a lot of times we have set up in our lives these illusions about what other people think of us, what we believe we can do, what we believe our capacity is. And the fact of the matter is, the only reason we do it is because we're afraid. We're afraid to make the investment. We're afraid to trust ourselves. We're afraid of what other people are going to think. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot about all of these things. Trust me, guys, when I tell you every single thing that I'm talking about, the reason I talk about it as firmly as I do is because I had to overcome all those things myself. I wanted to be a mom coach when the words did not exist. Like, no one knew what I was talking about. I said, I'm going to be a mom coach 13 years ago, right? And like, nobody knows what that is. Like, the words don't even, you couldn't look it up, you couldn't Google it. There were no mom coaches, all right? And when you are trying to birth something that you were meant to broker, when you are a thought leader, when you have some ideas about bringing something forward that doesn't already exist, you got to make sure you're working on your mental game, number 2, because the reason that you are not where you want to be is because your mental game is off. And the fact of the matter is, if you aren't training your mind up for that dream that you really want, then you're fooling yourself, because doubt is always going to set in. Fear is always going to happen. Things are always going to go wrong. But the thing is, the people who get it done versus the people who don't in their life and their business are people who have worked on their dang minds. I said dang, right? All right. They worked on their dang minds. Okay. And you need to be working on your mind, right? Your mental game is as important as any other game. You know what I'm talking about, right? Life requires stamina, a stamina in terms of an attitude, a stick-to-itness. Sometimes in life, right? So often, a dang mind, right? So often, as soon as something hits the fan, as soon as something goes wrong, please share, guys. If you haven't already shared on Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, we know that women need to hear this, right? We know other men need to hear this, and they'll be blessed by this. So don't keep it to yourself. the fact of the matter, as soon as things hit the fan, the moment you decide to execute anything that's big in your life, any dream that you have, stuff is going to happen. I'm telling you. And if you aren't thinking properly, the thing that happens is you begin to synthesize. You begin to synthesize negativity. Like the way you're processing what's happening to you is all negative. See, I understood over the years is things didn't happen for me sometimes the way I wanted them to happen, but it didn't mean it was a bad thing. It meant it was a growth thing. See, had I not been working toward my dream, I wouldn't be dealing with rejection. So some people think that rejection is a bad thing. Rejection is a good thing. If you're all in and you're moving toward your dream, you're going to experience some of that. And it's a matter of you working on your mind. You got to understand that the way you process what's happening to you is just as important as what has happened to you. All right. And the fact of the matter is entrepreneurship is a mental game. I just said that, right, Ebony? Right? It's a mental game. And the people who make it, right? The people who are on top, they're on top not because they had any different skill. I mean, maybe, some people, if we're talking about like dancing, like Michael Jackson could dance, okay, they have extraordinary skill. But the vast majority of people, you'd be surprised where you could get to just simply committing to number 3, which is the work. Like just flat doing the work on you, like doing the work, committing to the process, right? The way you process what has happened to you is just as important as what happens. Absolutely, Ebony. And the work. So the real reason you aren't where you want to be is because you're inconsistent. I'm telling the truth. Because the plan that you were so excited about, the moment that something doesn't happen the way you want, you don't show up that next day and the day after that and the day after that, the exact same way with the same fire and the same energy. See, what you got to understand is that what persistency and consistency does for you is that it fine tunes you. It shapes you. Like that thing that you were no longer ready for, you get ready for because of being persistent and consistent. So the real reason sometimes that people are not where they want, right? You can use my quote in your book as long as you give me credit. Okay. How about that? Is that cool? So here's the thing. The reality is that, if you're persistent and you can, of course, right? If you're persistent, if you're consistent over time, you will find that eventually you will be where you need to be. Think about it for a minute. I mean, I'm going to use this example because I'm at the gym right now, cooling down, right? I could not do push-ups. I had broken my shoulder a long time ago, about 20 years ago. My clavicle was broken. Okay. Pretty bad break. And so in all of my exercising over the years and lifting weights, I never, ever could do push-ups, right? And I was always very protective of my shoulder because it was such a bad break, like a break at the joint, which is like the worst break, right, of all. So I start working out with this trainer, and she starts getting me to do bar exercises coupled with, using the big muscles, right? Small muscles and big muscles. And I must not have trained like this before. And so now I can do these push-ups. She's got me doing like 100 push-ups, or today she had me doing these, the push-ups where you jump off, like you push off and you jump. I can do them. Like, why? Because every dang day, I said dang, right? Every dang day, she has me working on that thing. What you got to understand is that that's what persistency and consistency is like. That thing you couldn't do, you thought you couldn't do. See, I thought I couldn't do it, right? And but because I worked at it over and over and over and over again, I now can do that dang thing that I couldn't do. And the same is true for you in your business. So a lot of times people never get to realize their expertise. They never get to birth their dreams, their big dreams, because they quit before they get ready. And the fact of the matter is, this is something I know is true. The fact of the matter is, when I started out in my business as the mom strategist, I had to go and take a public speaking course because I moved like a robot on stage. It petrified me like a robot, okay? And I had to find for myself my sweet spot. And I didn't expect that to happen by me not working on that area that was weak for me. I said, I'm going to build that thing up because communication is an important component to me being able to show up powerfully. And I was really nervous about how to do that. And what you got to understand is you don't focus on your weakness, you fine tune them. And you take your strengths and you leverage your strengths. Like, so you go all in on your strengths, right? And you fine tune your weaknesses, you fine tune them, you don't focus on them. And the fact of the matter is, I think it was anxiety. I think that whenever I realized that for myself, whenever I was doing like public speaking things, I was trying to sound like Les Brown, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, guys. Les Brown is the black man, dynamic, motivation. That's not me. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. Why would I be trying to sound like that? See, this is why it's so important to be who you are, right? To be authentic and show up as you. For me to get that piece as it related to speaking, then I love him too, right? Then I could show up as me in my own power. So that's why when I tell you guys about this whole idea of being a creative duplicator, and the fact of the matter is the reason people don't have power to duplicate other people is because you can't do somebody else like somebody else can do themselves, right? Right? So you can't do somebody else. Did you say put it in the box? Did you see my shirt today? All right, my shirt today. Can you guys see my shirt? Do you see this? Can you guys see this? You see what my shirt says? Think outside the box, y'all. You got to think outside the box, y'all. What I'm saying is you got to be thinking outside the box. All right. And the fact of the matter is every day I wake up and I'm thinking outside the box, right? Because trying to be somebody else will give you anxiety every day, all day. Not working on your craft, not working on you can make you anxious too. You know what I mean? Not working on your mind. The number one muscle you need to be working on is this one right up here, because that will impact every single thing that you do. So the reason that you are not where you want to be, it has nothing to do with your talent or not being smart enough no. It is because of the things that I'm mentioning here. And I hope that what I'm saying is going to bless you. And the fourth thing I want you to understand, the fourth reason why you're not where you want to be is literally because of your investments. All right. And this is just flat true. If I tell you the stories of every single time I created a shift in my business, in my life, in my income, I made an investment. Real estate, my husband and I wanted to be real estate investors. We didn't know how to do that. We spent $25,000 for our very first coach over 20 years ago. Okay. And you know what? Guess what? We were able to buy millions of dollars in real estate. Oh, no surprise, right? Because we didn't know how to do it. We made an investment. We trusted ourselves to go out and learn and do the things. All right. So that's the first thing we did. When I became when we owned a commercial laundry, when we first bought it, we didn't know anything about the laundry business. What did we do? We got a mentor. We invested in a mentor, owned real estate and also laundry facilities. Facilities is the operative word. He mentored us, all right? So we invested in that. We invested in a relationship. We invested in time so we could get better. We focused on that. The third thing, I decided to open a coaching business, although I didn't know it was going to be called coaching, all right? If you guys are new to the scope, please invite people on Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, all right? And the first thing I did was go to the Small Business Resource Center in my town. I was told by the director of that business center that what I wanted to do, combine my background as a corporate trainer and my love of motherhood into a business, made no sense, that I should instead start a training company, all right, because my background was corporate training. And he laughed at me in essence. And I felt bad. I felt like I was stupid, like I was silly for thinking of this idea that I could combine systems in my background in terms of knowing how to turn anything into product, because that's what I had done for years. I didn't listen. I kept looking, bumped into this coach. She kind of had a model of her business was like what I wanted. She was free, operative word. I decided to invest in coaching with her. She was charging $1,000 an hour. I did not have $1,000 an hour. I did not know what I was going to talk to her about, even for an hour at all. I had never even thought of working with a coach, but I knew one thing. She was a full-time entrepreneur who November, December, and January would go to Mexico and run her business. The only full-time entrepreneur I had ever met who truly had freedom, and I wanted to learn from people who were free because I wanted to be free, stay free. There you go. Okay. So I said, well, okay, what about 10 minutes of your time? She said, you can work with me. I had to sign an 18-month contract for $150 for 10 minutes a month of her time. You know what? I did it. And after 6 months, I was able to upgrade and do a program that was like $2,500. Guys, this is 13 years, almost 14 years ago. And every single time when I look at my life, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for over a decade. My husband and I both, my kids are 18, 15, and 11 years old. They have never seen mom and dad work a job. Okay, I'm not against jobs. I'm just into sustainable, consistent success. Why? Because we always invested. We always invested. And you know what? And that allowed us to create that ROI. And I just want to break that down for you guys today, right? That was great, right? That I just want to break that down for you today because the reason that people aren't successful, it has nothing to do with skill set. It has nothing to do with timing. It has none of that. It has to do with the things that I broke down for you today. You haven't made a commitment. And if you have, you're not persistent and consistent. You're not working on your mindset, and you don't make investments in the direction where you want to go. You hem and you haw. You hem and you haw. Every single time we saw something we wanted, we went after it. We made the investment. We focused on that thing until we got it. You know what I'm saying? And we understood along the way we would make mistakes. We knew along the way it wouldn't be perfect, but because we were reading, right, everything didn't send us into a tailspin. And you got to understand that you're in the mind management business. You get to decide how this thing's going to work. And and if you don't like how it works, that's your responsibility to work on making it work better. I'm just telling you, because the way you see this is the way you see everything else. You think small, you ask for small, even if the opportunity is big. You think big, a small opportunity could be in front of you, and you will make that opportunity huge. Just going to break it down. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Did you get value? I hope you got value today. Anyone want to share an aha? I know. Anyone want to share an aha today? If you're interested in working with me, you've been looking for a coach, you're smart, you're sharp, you believe in self-investment, you believe in God, and you're at go, right? You might not have a product or know what it can look like, but you're like, you know what? I'm ready. All right. If you're ready, go to my bio, fill out a strategy session profile. Now I want to tell you, I don't do free coaching. All right. Right. Yeah, I will leave it. Yeah. I don't do free coaching. I only want to speak with you if you are interested in some way of working with a coach and you want support, because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. My clients get amazing results, not because I say so, but because it really is. I have a couple clients here today. So are there any questions for me, or what was your aha from today? Anybody want to share real quick before I sign off? Anyone want to share really quickly? An aha, or are there any questions on the floor? Okay. All right. No ahas, no questions on the floor. I want to thank you guys for your time. I love you guys. I want you to have an amazing day. The way I process, right? The way I process, right? Thinking about, okay, found you on Carla's Scope yesterday. Glad I tuned in. Great inspiration, great information. Awesome is just as important as the event, right? That's right. The way you process is just as important. Absolutely, right? It's not an ihi, it's an aha. It's like a big thought. It's a big thought. It's like a moment where you're like, yeah, that spoke to me directly. All right. Okay. So I want to thank you guys for your time today. I appreciate you, and go knock the ball out the park. I hope the scope supports you. I love you. I'll come back later today that if you don't like the way your mind works, it's up to you, and change it. That's what you got to do. That's your responsibility. That's what you got to do. You can't talk about it. We spend more time talking about what doesn't work instead of making things work. What's your system around making things work? The things that don't work, what's your system around that? Tell me that. You know what I mean? Don't get me started. That's another scope. Okay, what's your system around the thing that's not working? Tell me. All right? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I was gaining weight. What's my system around that? Okay? My system. Okay? Go invest in a trainer. Get to the gym, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Look, this is the problem with most of us. The reason we feel so powerless is because trying to show up as somebody else is the most powerless thing you could possibly do. right? Keeping your mind positive, because, and coming up with your system for that, Ruby, whatever that looks like, right? I had to have a system for myself around this whole physical thing, right? Like, all right, okay, I need somebody to call me. I need to be somewhere, somebody counting on me, tapping their watch saying, you gonna get your butt in here? Well, Monday this time, Tuesday this time? I need that system, all right? In order for me to show up as my best. What system do you need, all right? I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Have a good day. Bye, guys. Call me, right? Call me. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.